San Antonio, a city on the rise, bringing in on average 32.5 million total visitors per year. It's safe to say this popular tourist destination is catching the public's eye. But this city is not only known for its history with the Alamo or its NBA star team, the Spurs. Smaller organizations like Women's Global Connection are what help make San Antonio stay so unique. We sat down with Lisa Uribe to talk about her work with Women's Global Connection.
I'm Lisa Uribe. I'm Executive Director of Women's Global Connection, and I've been here for 14 years. The mission of Women's Global Connection is to empower women and their learning and leadership capacity globally and locally. So it was founded in 2001 by two sisters from the charity of Incarnate Word. It started as very simply a web-based organization. It was a website where people would have conversation about different current events and things, and eventually they started to have two themes, economic development and education. So it's out of those two themes that are topics. We have a women's group that we work with in Tanzania, and then we have a women's group that we work with in Peru. Tanzania grew out of the conversations that were going on the website in 2001 through connections of our founders, Sister Dorothy and Sister Naomi. Women got online and started asking questions about businesses, how to grow business, how to start a cooperative business, and then invited Sister Dorothy and a team to go to Bukoba, Tanzania. The mission in Peru started because the sisters have been in Peru since 1960 and have a medical clinic there. Our biggest event is our local Girls Global Summit event, and it's our Girls Leadership Program. We've had it for about 7 years now. And at that event, we give a Globally Awesome Girl Award winner.
So I've been working with Women's Global Connection now for about 5 years, and we've been putting this summit on, and it keeps growing and growing every year. And what really attracts me is the fact that we talk about local issues and global issues. So we could talk about something like anxiety in girls, but then you can also look at how the prevalence of anxiety in developing countries versus developing countries, and really look at some of the cultural expectations of each of these topics that are chosen. So to me, that's a fascinating lens to really look at the problems through.
In social media now especially, there's so many things that are happening in women's rights, and I really want to just show my support for who I am and what I believe in, and I wanted to support women by being here today.
Most in my work abroad as well as my travel is that our understanding of oppression or poverty is really relative to the conditions that we find ourselves in. And so this idea of being globally awesome means that we here in the United States and here in San Antonio understand sort of how our actions have an effect on people around the world.
I think it's just as important for males to be here too, because when it comes to women's rights, yes, it's important for us to get support from other women, but if you really want to make a change, you need support from people who aren't in your group, because women are considered minorities. So if you want to become the majority and make a change, you have to get support from people who aren't women.
We need to continue contributing to, as consumers, going and voting with our dollar in the markets and making a change in corporations to have better representation, equal representation of women of color in media.
There is something particularly special about creating spaces where people can just be and learn and talk and connect, and that's what this space does.
I guess I learned about how prevalent the impact of media is on women more than I thought it was, especially women of color, and how that affects their lives.
My message always to youth are to don't be afraid to say what you're thinking. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because that's where you really start connecting. And places like the Girls Global Summit, that's what it's all about, is connection.
I think that something like a Girls Global Summit, or that only girls can participate in something about girls, is the problem. Women make up more than half of our population. If girls thrive, our community thrives. We should all be thinking about equity and how we are doing better by the people who live in our community. So to think that a Girls Global Summit is just about girls misses the point about how we should be lifting up everyone, including girls.
Do you feel any different? As a local nonprofit, this organization helps contribute to San Antonio's community by its deep commitment and mission to empower women, not only in the city, but around the world as well. To learn more about WGC, Visit womensglobalconnection.org.